Hi friends! Welcome to another episode on BodhiKidz, a space where stories, voices, and ideas from young minds come alive. Today, let's listen to Advik, a 10-year-old boy who's here to share something very special, his story. Not a fairy tale, not a mystery, just a little chat where he talks about himself, his world, and what makes him smile. Let's hear Advik now.
Hi. My name is Advik, and I'm 10 years old. I live in a small town in Uttarakhand, surrounded by green hills and fresh air. I study in BodhiKidz school, and my favorite subject is science, especially when we do experiments that bubble, fizz, or fly. I have a younger sister. Her name is Aaru, and she's 5. We fight sometimes, but mostly we team up to trouble Papa when he's working from home. When I'm free, I love playing football with my friends. We don't care if the ball is old or the ground is muddy, we just love to run and laugh and fall and play again. But the one thing I never skip is reading. Books are like secret doors. My favorite one is Malgudi Days by R.K. Narayan. I feel like Swami is my real friend. He's funny, naughty, and gets into all kinds of trouble, just like me. Sometimes, I read books by Ruskin Bond too. His stories feel like they're written just for us, the kids living in hills and towns. My Amma says I'm like a goat, always chewing something. But guess what? I love sarson kasag, steamed rice with tur dal, and drumstick sambar when Nani makes it in her brass pot. That food makes me dance without music. Oh, and I have a pet parrot. His name is Mithu, and he talks more than I do. Sometimes, I think he listens better than most people. So that's me, Advik. I'm still growing, still learning, still trying to be someone better every day. But for now, I'm just a happy boy with muddy shoes, a book in his bag, and lots of dreams in his head.
Hi again friends. Now that we've heard Advik's story, let's walk through what he said, line by line, and try to understand it better. You'll hear some interesting expressions, phrasal verbs, and words that can help you tell your own story too. Let's begin. Advik says, Hi. My name is Advik, and I'm 10 years old. That's a simple and clear self-introduction. When we start any conversation about ourselves, this is usually the first line we use, our name and our age. Try saying it with your own name now. Then he says, I live in a small town in Uttarakhand, surrounded by green hills and fresh air. This is a beautiful way of describing where he lives. He's not just telling us the name of the place, he's painting a picture using words. Words like green hills and fresh air make us imagine what it feels like to be there. This is called descriptive writing. You can describe your surroundings the same way, using colors, smells, and feelings. Next, he says, I study in BodhiKidz school, and my favorite subject is science, especially when we do experiments that bubble, fizz, or fly. Here, he tells us about his school and the subject he loves. Did you notice how he doesn't just say, I like science? He gives examples of why, experiments that bubble, fizz, or fly. These are action words. They help us imagine things happening. Words like bubble and fizz are sound words, they make the sentence fun and alive. Then he says, I have a younger sister. Her name is Aaru, and she's 5. We fight sometimes, but mostly we team up to trouble Papa when he's working from home. Let's stop here. The phrase team up is a phrasal verb. It means to join someone to do something together. For example, we teamed up to clean the room. They teamed up to build a paper rocket. So when Advik says he and Aaru team up to trouble Papa, he means they become a little naughty pair together. It's playful and shows their sibling bond. Next, he tells us about his hobby. When I'm free, I love playing football with my friends. We don't care if the ball is old or the ground is muddy, we just love to run and laugh and fall and play again. This part shows how much fun he has with his friends. The sentence, "We don't care if the ball is old or the ground is muddy," tells us they don't need anything fancy. They just enjoy the game. This teaches us that joy is not always in perfect things, sometimes it's in messy, simple fun. Then he says something lovely. But the one thing I never skip is reading. Books are like secret doors. Let's look at two important things here. First, the phrasal verb never skip means he never misses it. Like, I never skip breakfast. She never skips her dance class. Second, he uses a simile, he says, books are like secret doors. That means books take him into other worlds, just like a secret door might lead you into a magical place. Try using a simile like this. My grandma's hug is like warm sunshine. My notebook is like a treasure box. This part shows how much fun he has with his friends. The sentence, "We don't care if the ball is old or the ground is muddy," tells us they don't need anything fancy. They just enjoy the game. This teaches us that joy is not always in perfect things, sometimes it's in messy, simple fun. Then he says something lovely. But the one thing I never skip is reading. Books are like secret doors. Let's look at two important things here. First, the phrasal verb never skip means he never misses it. Like, I never skip breakfast. She never skips her dance class. Second, he uses a simile, he says, books are like secret doors. That means books take him into other worlds, just like a secret door might lead you into a magical place. Try using a simile like this. My grandma's hug is like warm sunshine. My notebook is like a treasure box. Then he shares. My favorite one is Malgudi Days by Arcane Orion. I feel like Swami is my real friend. He's funny, naughty, and gets into all kinds of trouble, just like me. Here, Advik is talking about a character from an Indian author's book. When he says, Swami is my real friend, he doesn't mean real in life, he means that while reading, he feels close to the character. And when he says, gets into all kinds of trouble, it means Swami often lands in tricky or funny situations. You can use this phrase too, for example. My cat gets into trouble every day, she climbs the curtain. I got into trouble for not doing my homework. He also says. Sometimes, I read books by Ruskin Bond too. His stories feel like they're written just for us, the kids living in hills and towns. Here, Advik is talking about another Indian author. He feels the stories are relatable, written in a way that matches his own surroundings and feelings. Next, he says something very funny. My Amma says I'm like a goat, always chewing something. But guess what? I love sarson ka saag, steamed rice with tur dal, and drumstick sambar when Nani makes it in her brass pot. Let's break this. When Amma says you're like a goat, it's a comparison. Not an insult. She means he's always eating, just like goats keep chewing. It's a playful expression used in many homes. Also, notice how Advik doesn't talk about pizza or ice cream. He names real, healthy Indian food that he loves, sarson ka saag, tur dal, and drumstick sambar. This shows respect for local food, and it tells us a lot about his roots and habits. Then he says, that food makes me dance without music. This is a beautiful metaphor. It doesn't mean he actually dances. It means the food brings him so much joy that it feels like he's dancing, even when there's no music. That's how we use expressions to show emotions. Try it. Her smile is like music in a quiet room. That story made my heart jump. Then he says something sweet. Oh, and I have a pet parrot. His name is Mithu, and he talks more than I do. Sometimes, I think he listens better than most people. This tells us about his pet, and also how important Mithu is to him. When he says, he listens better than most people, it means he finds comfort and company in Mithu's presence. And finally, Advik says. So that's me, Advik. I'm still growing, still learning, still trying to be someone better every day. But for now, I'm just a happy boy with muddy shoes, a book in his bag, and lots of dreams in his head. Let's pause here. This closing line is full of meaning. Still growing, still learning means he's on a journey. Muddy shoes shows he plays freely. Book in his bag shows he reads. Dreams in his head shows he has hope. This is how we end a strong piece of writing, not by listing facts, but by tying it all together in one emotional, thoughtful sentence. Alright, now that we've explored all the new words, expressions, idioms, and phrasal verbs from Advik's story, why not listen to the whole conversation one more time? This time, you'll understand it more clearly. You'll notice how the phrases feel more familiar. And maybe, you'll even find yourself using them in your own sentences. So let's go back and listen to Advik's story again. This time, with fresh ears and a sharper mind.
Hi. My name is Advik, and I'm 10 years old. I live in a small town in Uttarakhand, surrounded by green hills and fresh air. I study in BodhiKidz school, and my favorite subject is science, especially when we do experiments that bubble, fizz, or fly. I have a younger sister. Her name is Aaru, and she's 5. We fight sometimes, but mostly we team up to trouble Papa when he's working from home. When I'm free, I love playing football with my friends. We don't care if the ball is old or the ground is muddy, we just love to run and laugh and fall and play again. But the one thing I never skip is reading. Books are like secret doors. My favorite one is Malgudi Days by R.K. Narayan. I feel like Swami is my real friend. He's funny, naughty, and gets into all kinds of trouble, just like me. Sometimes, I read books by Ruskin Bond too. His stories feel like they're written just for us, the kids living in hills and towns. My Amma says I'm like a goat, always chewing something. But guess what? I love sarson kasag, steamed rice with tur dal, and drumstick sambar when Nani makes it in her brass pot. That food makes me dance without music. Oh, and I have a pet parrot. His name is Mithu, and he talks more than I do. Sometimes, I think he listens better than most people. So that's me, Advik. I'm still growing, still learning, still trying to be someone better every day. But for now, I'm just a happy boy with muddy shoes, a book in his bag, and lots of dreams in his head.
And that brings us to the end of today's explanation. Advik didn't try to impress anyone, he just spoke from his heart. That's what good writing is all about. Not perfect grammar, not big words, but real stories, told clearly and honestly. So next time you write or speak about yourself, remember this. Be real. Be simple. Be you. We'll meet again soon with another child, another story, and another chance to learn something beautiful. Till then, keep listening, keep imagining, and keep growing. This is BodhiKidz, where every voice is a story.